When Facebook sitting in the Congress would pay more attention to the information security in social network. So we are looking forward to the speech. The name of the future of cyber security and trading.
Hello, Shanghai. Thank you. I'm very proud to be here. It's my first time here in Shanghai, and such a great conference is the first time. It's always a pleasure to be here and speaking in front of you. And we choose this very important matter, cybersecurity, and combined it to the BitShares project, the Graphene project, to tell you some useful information and introduce our own product, Crypviser communication network. So we can start with just in the middle of the topic. We're talking about exchanges, the things we are using. The most of us, I think, here every single day, and most of them are centralized. Why this is a bad thing? I don't say it's actually a bad thing. It's necessary. It's how the technology done. But when we are looking into this damages, this centralized system done to our funds, when we are looking at the top 5 hacks to the centralized exchanges out there, we are talking about damages from 70 million up to 473 million. We all know this famous Mr. Gox hack. This is huge, and this is where centralized exchanges are vulnerable. I'm proud to say that the solution is out there. We are talking about our DEX, our SEC, decentralized exchanges. The matter is nothing new, it's out there. But we have to work on their popularity. We have to, like Enrique said, we have to go out there and tell the people that the solution is out there, look at this. So just to compare those two fundamental principles, we have to look at centralized exchanges. First of all, they are very visual appealing. They are for novice people, they are easy to use. I know some of you are actually familiar with BitShares and using this platform. For you, it's nothing. You look at the interface, you're very familiar with trading, and it's easy for you. But you have to look into someone who's new to the crypto world, new to the cryptography trading, and he's very pleased to see a very sleek and easy to use interface. They got a lot of tools. Every experienced trader knows we are not even using most of them, but it's actually good when something is out there to look to do your graphing, you know, this kind of thing you show off in front of other people. There are a variety of coins, popular coins. People are looking at CoinMarketCap and see this. So it's very easy for a person to drone into this world. But we have to think about the disadvantages of this centralized exchange systems. Some of them is geographic limitations, so most of them are now open on Earth, but a couple of them are only open for specific regions. So there's a lot of people out there who are forbidden to use because they're living into a country not supported by this exchange. When we're talking about centralized systems, we're talking about downtimes, server maintenances. So whereas a central point of view, there's always a downtime, and this is affecting the whole system. The privacy. All the things, all the trades happening behind the curtain, we have no insight. We have no information about how they deal with the private keys, how they deal with the security inside these exchanges. And this is very important and urgent thing to think about. Back the days I was in a conference, it was much smaller than this. But the people were excited to talk about cryptocurrency, and the host was on the stage and asking to the crowd, who owns cryptocurrency on exchanges, Bittrex, Binance, Poloniex? And the crowd was all euphoric, putting the hands up, not this kind of BitConnect style we know about this. No one can top this BitConnect authority, but they're putting the hand up, and I was actually there and thought about one important thing. He is talking about owning something. And I have very bad news for you. You're actually not owning something on a centralized exchange, because they got the private keys. They store your cryptocurrency for you at best. There's a very important line to draw. Own and possess. You possess, you have the cryptocurrency, you stored it on this exchange, but you not own when you're not having your private keys. And this is what's great example of decentralized exchanges. They gave you the control about your cryptocurrency, about your funding. You are the only person who is control and who is depending on what to do with these funds. Decentralized exchanges, they are global. Everyone can participate in it. It's like we all know, it's open source, it's open for everyone. It's fast. We're using the BitShares technology to do very fast trading. They're supported by this, you heard, the Graphene background. We can achieve amazing things for trading. It's transparent, but yet anonymous. Everyone can see the trades, everyone can see what's going on inside this exchange, but you're still anonymous. Your privacy is kept secure in the exchange. The high level of security, where there's no central authority, there's no possibility of hacking, of an attack on your funds. Only you are responsible for storing and keeping your private key safe. When you do this job, you're perfectly fine. Of course, there's an upside. We talked about it. It's difficult to use for someone who's very new to the world of trading. It's kind of intimidating for a novice person to look at this, very confusing interface, but this is only the first step that you have to overcome to get those benefits of a decentralized exchange. Of course, we are not talking about it much, but the liquidity is also a problem. But this is going hand in hand with the popularity. If we are drawn more people, if you're drawn the attention of the people to the system, the liquidity will rise automatically. This is an example I used to show the interface. For me, it's very simple. It's very authentic to use, but the people are still not drawn into this. Crypviser is proud to be a partner with the BitShares community, with the Open Ledger, and we developed the system to bring a decentralized communication to the people using the technology. And when we are talking about the project, we have to talk about the ICOs. The ICOs was a huge trend in 2017. And we used the data of Bitcoin.com to analyze the project and tell you something you already know about the dangers of an ICO, but we have brought the numbers to you. Out of 902 considerable ICOs, 132 failed at the beginning, at the funding stage. They not collect the money enough to propel the project, they're not collecting the money to develop the project. The huge number of 276 projects, they even got the funding, but were never able to propel the technology. There were various of reasons why they have failed, but the thing is, at the end, the project was a fail. It was a no-go. 150 ICOs was so-called semi-failed, which means they are out there, they are not doing much, they are communicating with the community, but you see no results. The project isn't moving, although they got the funds. So the ICO is a very dangerous thing, because even if you got the funding, there's no, and I repeated this, no success there can be shown, which depending on the funding. The funding is never guarantee you a success to your project. Overall, we expected 90% of all the ICOs were failing in this ICO stage and never get to the actual product stage. And this is the reason why. The reason is utility. When we are talking about real estate, you're talking about location, location, location. And to me and my Crypviser team, when we are talking about an ICO and cryptocurrency, we are talking about utility. You have to have utility for your product. And this is what I'm proud to present you, the Crypviser Communication Network. We are past this ICO stage in 2017 and brought our product to the market. We actually launched an Apple Store, and we were one of those ICOs which were successful, which are committing to our cause and fulfilled our promises to the community to creating a secure and unbeatable communication network based on blockchain. When you're talking about messengers, there are a lot of variety of messages out there. We all have our own favorites. We are using this every day. But I look always on independent analytics. So Amnesty International looked only at the technical cores of the messaging system. They were looking at the security, they were looking at the technology. They weren't looking at the interfaces, not into these fancy buttons we like. No, they just looking, and this is our results. More than the half are scored under average in terms of security. And I think even if you got a 60% or 33% security rating, it's not enough. It's just not enough for a person who is scared about the security. We brought to you a decentralized communication platform based on BitShares technology, so where BitShares is decentralizing everything, Crypviser is securing everything. We are proud to say that we are using the technology to secure those nodes which are important for our decentralized communication. When we are talking about the technology, we use the military-grade state-of-art encryption system. We are talking about international and EU Council approved ZASA 2020 and Cipher protocols, which are included to the top level security companies out there. We have brought it to the people. We have brought it to the masses to show you that this is technology can be used to secure your own communication. The advantages, they are out there. We're talking about an all-in-one solution which have your own and favorable solutions for communicating, like a true end-to-end encryption. We prevent the most dangerous attack on your security, the man-in-the-middle attack. When someone tries to intercept your public key, it's not possible because we are using the blockchain. The blockchain technology secures this authentication process. Your public key is always securely identified to the person you want to speak to. So you always know that you speak to the person you address. Your data can be not intercepted. Your communication cannot be intercepted because the blockchain secures your communication. And this is why it's so important for us to use the BitShares and Graphene technology to create this environment. Because in instant communication services, you need to be fast. And this is what this environment will prove for us. We got instant transactions. We are talking about 100,000 transactions per minute, which can theoretically be achieved. A very fast block building system. So the advantages we will be hearing a lot for another presenters here are enormous. We are also a first communication app who integrated our own crypto wallet with our own cryptocurrency inside the communication platform to pay for our services. You can use the tokens on the exchange. You can pay the premium services in our own cryptocurrency using your own crypto wallet. You can send the funds easily to our members of our network, not using this long and boring number hashes. It's very easy, intuitive. You're just looking for the person's account name, you put it, you click on a button, it's easy like it is, it's gone. When we're talking about our cryptocurrency, we're talking about a utility asset, which is integrated into our platform, which is an asset of your security, because when we are talking about something which is free, and we all know our free messages out there, we have to think about, isn't actually something which is free secure? Because we all know the technology behind this have to be paid. So somehow we are still paying for it, even not noticing it. It could be with our data, with our privacy or advertisement. We put an end to it. We never collect your data. We are not collecting your phone numbers. We are using the structure to secure your communication only, and that's why we are charging $9.99 price for it. But you cannot put a price tag on the security. In today's world, for many people like lawyers, finance advisors, we are talking about bookkeeping, communication, even about military. For those people, the security is the most important asset, and the money, it's very secondary and in the third place. So, to round it up, we have to overcome those obstacles together with the BitShares Foundation. We have to apply to those vendors out there like Apple and Apple Store to prove them that we have to be needed to integrate as a virtual currency. We have to be recognized as this virtual currency because we got this BitShares and Graphene technology, which is an important driver for the decentralized world we are thinking of, we are wanted to create. So, I would like to thank you all for this very, very interesting crowd. So I will looking for your questions. We are here presented our Crypviser stand. So I'm looking forward to speak with you, and thank you very much for your attention.